Hi everybody and welcome back to Meals of the Week. Tonight we're going to be having some pork belly slices in a honey and garlic sauce, and we're going to have this with some egg fried rice. So to start off with, I've cut my pork belly slices into little chunks and I've set my rice off to one side to boil. Whilst the pork is cooking, I'm going to get on with making the sauce, and it's really simple. It's just garlic, honey and a little bit of soy sauce, and I'm going to add this to a pan to heat it up and reduce it down a little bit. After a few minutes, I'm going to add in the cooked pork and I'm going to heat this through. This will coat the pork and make it more of a sticky sauce. And this is what everything looks like once it is finished. I did forget to show you me doing the egg fried rice, but I'm pretty sure you know how to make it. This is how it looks. I added some spring onions on top and some more sesame seeds, and this is what we had for tea tonight. On Tuesday I made some homemade chicken noodle soup. I started off by cooking my chicken in a pan. I did add a little bit of salt and pepper to this just to give it some seasoning. In a separate pan, I'm just going to sweat some vegetables off. So in here I have carrots, spring onion, some butter and a little bit of garlic puree. And I'm just going to sweat this off for a couple of minutes and then add it into the chicken stock. This is the pasta that I used. It's just the fresh egg fusilli one. It's just a twirly pasta. I just added this into the chicken stock. I just used a couple of handfuls, and then I also added in my cooked chicken, some more seasoning in here like mixed herbs, salt and pepper, and I let this cook for a few minutes. And this is how it looks once it's plated up. I love these little bowls that I picked up out of B&M a few weeks ago. They come in quite handy for things like this. And this is what we had for tea on Tuesday. Tonight I wasn't quite sure what to make for tea, and I saw this recipe online and I thought I would give it a go. It is garlic steak bites, and I decided to make it with some homemade roast potatoes. I'm just using this lean diced steak meat. You could use like a full piece of steak and chop it up. And I probably am only going to use one potato, but I did get two out just in case. To start, I'm just going to add some oil into a bowl and then start cutting up my steak bites. Some of these pieces were a little bit big, so I just cut them down to make them smaller. Could use a fresh garlic or garlic powder for this, but I just had this tube of garlic puree. I've just added a little squirt of that in, as well as some salt, pepper and mixed herbs, and I'm going to give this a good mix. I'm just going to set the steak to one side to let it soak up those flavours and get on with making my potatoes. I'm just going to start off by peeling off the skin, and I want these to be quite small potatoes, so I'm just going to cut these into really small chunks. I'm just going to put these into a bowl now, and I'm going to use this seasoning mix on them. It's just called the Parmenti potatoes. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, Parmentia. And give this a little sprinkle over, give them a little mix in there, and I'm also going to add in some oil, and these are going to go straight into the air fryer for around 20 minutes at 200 degrees. Into a hot pan, I'm going to add in my steak. I'm going to try not to move them around for the first few minutes so that they get that nice crust on one side. Once that side has browned off a little bit, I'm going to flip these over and let them cook for a few more minutes. I have turned the heat down at this point. After a little while, I'm going to add in some butter and let this melt. I'm going to give it a good stir through. This is how it looks once everything is plated up, and it was really tasty. I will definitely be making this again. We have the steak bites, the mini potatoes, a salad and the sour cream dip, and this is what we had for tea on Wednesday. For tea tonight we're going to be having some crumb chicken with Alfredo pasta and garlic bread. I am going to be making the Alfredo sauce myself, which is what the double cream and garlic is for. To start off with, I'm going to be making the chicken, as that's what takes the longest. I'm going to use this chicken parmo crumb to bread the chicken with. I've also added on some salt and pepper, and these are going to go straight into the air fryer to cook. This is the pasta that I'm using. It's just tagliatelle pasta nests, and I'm just waiting for the kettle to boil so that I've got ready boiled water, as this is a lot quicker than waiting for it to boil in the pan. When everything is nearly finished cooking, I'm going to get on with the Alfredo sauce. So to start with, I'm going to melt some butter and garlic in a pan. After a few minutes, I'm going to add in the full tub of double cream and heat this through for a little bit. Once that has come to a simmer, I'm going to add in some Parmesan cheese, salt and pepper and some mixed herbs. Give this a really good mix, make sure that cheese is all melted in. Once the Alfredo sauce is finished, you can then add in your pasta and give this a good mix to make sure that all of it is coated. And this is how it looks once everything has been plated up. I chopped the chicken into little pieces and just placed them on top of the pasta, and we have a slice of garlic bread each on the side of the plate, and this is what we had for tea on Thursday. It's finally Friday, and for tea tonight I'm going to be making a pork loin dinner. So I've got some pork loin steaks here that I have seasoned with salt, pepper, garlic, onion granules and some mixed herbs. I've done this on both sides. So these are just going to go in the oven now for about 25 minutes, and I'm going to get on with the rest of it. I've already cut up some potatoes and seasoned these with some salt, pepper and mixed herbs and a little bit of oil. I've also done the same with some carrots, and these are both going to go into the air fryer for around 20 minutes. And this is how it looks once everything is finished. I did chop up Ayla's pork just to make it a little bit easier for her to eat, but we have the roasties and the carrots here. The meat, Yorkshire puddings, which just went into the air fryer for 5 minutes, and some mash. I did also have some mint sauce and cranberry sauce to go along with mine. And then I added on some gravy at the end. Hope you enjoyed this Meals of the Week, guys. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're made aware when I make a new upload. And I'll see you in the next one.